So let's go back to break-in. So what are some things, like people say, my battery performs better after I cycle it 5 times. What are some things, let's assume that they're not full of shit. Let's assume they're actually observing this phenomenon and they're not just imagining it, which I suspect that a lot of people are imagining it. Because you get people, they put a battery on a copter, they go fly it, they go zoop, 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 and they go, yeah, it feels good, feels good. But that's not quantity. I mean, that doesn't mean nothing, but it also doesn't mean something necessarily.
Okay.
What kind of things could somebody be experiencing that would cause a battery to perform better say you get it brand new and you cycle it 5 times and you do it rigorously and scientifically and it does in fact maybe sag less or deliver more charge after 5 or 10 cycles?
Okay, but because I smelled the bovine feces when I saw that process, I've never done it.
Uh-huh.
What is the process? I never researched battery break-in
So
because I thought it was
what
crap.
people
What do
say,
do you charge it slowly? Do they charge
yeah,
it quickly?
what some people say is that you do a slow charge like less than 1C or 1C and you do a slow discharge. I don't know what C rating. So but let's under whatever assumptions that you want, are there real world things that would cause a battery to perform differently after some kind of break-in procedure?
Yes.
Like what?
So when you're a battery manufacturer and you finish the cell, you've done your testing, you're ready to ship it.
Hmm.
You're going to slap a rapid charge to get it to the level that's safe for shipping, and then stick it in a box and send it out.
Okay.
You get the battery. You're the consumer. It's
Right.
sat on a shelf. Most likely, that retailer's not going to
No.
unbox it and
Yeah,
maintain it or
no.
trickle it.
Probably
It
six,
has,
could be weeks or months potentially.
yeah, it's had a little bit of self discharge, which is always an uneven discharge. It doesn't like you again think about that anode as being like this plate where all the stuff sticks.
Sure, sure, sure.
So it's not necessarily an even discharge. You get it home, you're excited, you throw it on the charger and charge it at like 5C or something to get it out in your quad, and you go fly and it doesn't last for shit, and you're mad.
Okay.
And then so you go and you go back, oh, I need to break it in. So the break in being that slow charge, slow discharge, is the exact same thing as what we were just talking about how you get more life out of a battery that's been charged slowly and within a good charger. So you've got a battery that came charged too quick, and then you most likely charged it too quick.
You mean you got to, let's say you get the battery and it's at, say it's at 3.8, although now with the new shipping regulations, I think they're shipping them lower than 3.8. But let's say it's at 3.8.
3.2 or 3.5, something like that.
Oh yeah, let's say it's at 3.8, which is a typical storage voltage. And you get it and you put it on your charger and you charge it at 1C, right? And you take it out and you fly it. And you go, "Oh, this something isn't right." And then you take and you cycle it a few more times at 1C. Is the performance potentially going to improve?
If it's still at its nominal voltage, that battery is fine. So it's still mostly charged. Most of its ions are still stuck to the anode, sorry.
Hmm.
And I'm going to reverse those left and right. We're going to
Yeah,
get to
I do
the
the same
comments.
thing.
So most of the ions are still in potential
There
down
will
at
be
the
many
bottom.
angry comments down below.
Yeah, well, I'm good at dealing with that. So you're still down there. Now that charge that you're using is still that rapid charge they slapped in it for shipping.
Hmm.
So it's not efficient. It hasn't been effectively charged
Okay.
in a way that makes it better.
So you're suggesting that because they put this rapid charge on the battery for shipping and the ions may not deposit themselves optimally in a sort of an even coat, if you will, that charge that even if you were to then take it from 3.8 up to 4.2, you might be putting a good even coat on top of everything from 3.2 up to 3.8, but there's still that suboptimal charge that came from the manufacturer, and
yeah,
that
I mean
it may behoove you to discharge
that's
it down
accurate
to
enough for the
good enough.
yeah.
So you're suggesting it may behoove you to discharge it to 3.2 and then take it back up again to 4.2, and that but
No,
but
screw it. Just go charge it up to 4.2. Go fly it around for fun, and then next time you charge it,
it'll be
charge
better.
it slowly. Like
But you're not
charge it
suggesting.
responsibly.
There are some people who suggest that there is a. One thing I've heard is that there is some kind of chemical or some maybe a physical structure to the chemistry that is designed to reduce self-discharge while they're in storage. Some people say there's a coating, but I don't think that's legit, and that you burn off the coating that keeps them from self-discharging in storage until they're delivered. Does that jibe with anything that you can think of in real life?
Kinda, but it's not there. That is something that's possible. Now they treat the polymer solution sometimes with stuff. again, trying to keep the geek level a little low, so that
I don't think you have to do that. What's the stuff called?
It's I don't have the actual chemistry name,
Okay,
but it's
okay.
it's for, and again, it's different for different batteries, and different,
Sure,
like Sony uses this
sure,
and
sure,
blah
sure.
blah uses that. Um, they treat it to reduce the chance of oxidization, and it prolongs the life of the battery, because anytime the lithium ions stick to one of the two electrodes permanently,
Mm-hmm,
that's where you get lithium plating, is one of the things you'll hear about that's really bad.
mm-hmm.
Causes a lot of internal resistance increase, and the oxide layer that can form on the cathode as well when it's been overcharged or high temperature or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that can happen as well. But that breaks down pretty quick and pretty easy, and it really is such a minor difference. You're talking, you'd have to
Right,
be
right,
scoping the battery to really
right.
know.
So there's an
A
oxide.
user's not going to
There's
find
an
it.
oxide layer that can form on the cathode. You said under certain conditions, primarily overcharge or overheat, right? But that actually is a temporary thing that breaks down when you do. I think you said you cycle the battery actually fairly aggressively, and it breaks it down. There's also
But yeah, just even a regular, for us, a regular use
right.
would destroy that little tiny. It's a passivization layer, and for people who are into metal stuff, passivization or passivation, I don't know, whatever. There's a
I think it's
syllable in there.
passivation. I think.
I might not need. um, it's going to. That's the thing that makes stainless steel stainless.
Right, right,
And passivating is when you reapply that oxide layer on the outside. So it's an oxide layer,
right.
and it breaks down, and it's an oxide layer that's made up of lithium that may or may not be some of the lithium ions from the solution in the electrolyte. So you may recover a little bit of capacity, but you're talking about such a minute amount
Right. It's such a
that,
small amount.
yeah,
It
no
doesn't
one's going to
matter.
notice.
So anybody who
Uh,
talks about oxidation on the lithium cells, it probably is not affecting us at all because number one, if it does exist, it's a tiny amount, and number two, our normal usage in RC hobbyists will break it down anyway. So then you've got the
yeah,
lithium plating, and that's permanent, right? There's no way to undo that.
you chuck the battery. I mean, it can't really.
And what causes the lithium plating? Overcharge, over discharge?
So the passivation layer. I pulled up some of my notes so
Mm-hmm.
I can speak
It's all right.
properly.
Yeah.
Um, it restricts ion flow because you've got a layer of basically an oxide, usually lithium, and it kills your internal resistance, and that is what leads to the lithium plating. So you don't have flowing ion.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have a stickier layer basically. So the ions are going to get stuck. It's going to create a layer of lithium, which is still functional because it's like if you take a magnet and a piece of paper and put another magnet, it's still
Right,
going to
right,
stick.
right.
But you start
They
adding
won't
more
they
pieces of
won't flow
paper.
as well. Yeah.
Right. Eventually, your magnets won't stick when you get too much paper in between them.
Okay.
Um, that's it, it's really not a factor. Like if you're unless you're really overcharging the hell out of your battery and storing it at 4.5 or 4.4 volts, which if you get it up to 4.5, good luck. Um,
Good luck is it good luck to your face?
yeah, good luck to wherever you put that. That's why they made those stupid bags you put your batteries in. Oh, I'm sorry, safety feature. Do not
Yeah,
use those. They're
yeah,
great. They won't burn
yeah,
your house down.
yeah.
If you it's yeah. Talk
So
about
so that's
placebo effect.